Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. SD here. What I wanted to do is a little something different. We've already played through Asemblance, and I've given my walkthrough, guide, playthrough, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to create a series called In or Out. And so we're going to start with Asemblance because I felt like this would probably be a good starting point. I give opinions throughout the games. As we progress through them. So anyway, let me jump into the actual game. Might make it a little bit easier to talk. So,
If you're feeling confused, that's completely normal. Let's take this one step at a time. Although I'm a bit concerned, sometimes the
truth is not what we want to remember.
And the computer is exactly correct.
Let's get back to the job at hand.
So let me go into just
sometimes I get concerned that false memories
are being planted in your
We'll just
mind.
load a memory and go into it. As you can see, it's like a time machine that we're in.
What do you remember? To be honest.
Okay. So with Asemblance, I actually enjoyed the game a lot. I felt that I kind of understood where the developers wanted to go, and I enjoyed that aspect of the game. If you noticed in my first video, I played it and I thought, okay, well, am I done? Do I need to go back and then play through it again? How's this going to work? And as I finished up the bad ending to the game, I noticed that it said continue, and I went on and was able to continue on. And each time I continued on, I experienced something a little bit different. And that was really cool. That was cool to me to be able to do that. I thought the developers were definitely onto something. I appreciate how Nyla wanted to go about this game. The issue that I have is that, aside from the graphics were really good. The sound in the game, as you can hear right now, is fantastic. I think they did a great job with that. I wanted a little bit more interaction. I wanted more. I don't know if that's just me being greedy, but I wanted more. And as I progressed through and I went through each shift, each color shift, each level, whatever you want to call it, each phase of the game, it kept drawing me back. It was kind of like a bad relationship, to where you keep getting more and more attached to it, and it's kind of like you don't get what you want, but you keep going back. And that was kind of the way that I felt. I felt compelled in a sense that I wanted to continue on. And okay, well, let's find out what happened. And through the story, to be honest, we never really did identify what actually happened. We have an idea of that something bad transpired. There was a husband, there was a wife, it appeared to be 2 kids. It appeared that the issue lied with the boy. There were pictures scattered everywhere with the child, the young boy, but we never really solely identified what happened. And that's the part that bothers me with the game. It's like going and watching a movie, and you pay your hard-earned cash, and you get into the movie, it's going great, and then someone gets murdered, and the screen goes blank, and you wonder, well, what the fuck just happened? Well, who killed him? Well, where's... You led me up to this part, but we don't know the end result. And there are a lot of movies that have come out like that, and they want to leave it up to your imagination. And I love a good story. And I felt, again, that Nyla, they were on the right path. They just needed to, one, implement more things that you can interact with within the game itself, and give us an actual ending. Give us an ending that we actually found out what exactly happened. And I just didn't get that. It was like a wet dream. I mean, that's the best way I could put it. You're in the middle of a dream, and everything is going great, and you're about to hit that peak point, and then boom, you wake up. And you're kind of left with this empty feeling. So, I don't know. My opinion is, if you like these type of games and you haven't played it, I recommend playing it. I thought it was very intriguing. I would love for Nilo to come back to me and go, hey, dumbass, you missed something. You didn't do a right sequence. Unfortunately, I have a 100% achievement on the game. So unless there's some hidden sequence somewhere that I'm not aware of, I don't see that happening. But again, I would love for them to come back and go, hey, you know what? We're going to create another game and we'll take some of the advice that you've given and we're going to extend the story so that you can find out what happened to that kid. What happened? What research was the doctor so involved in? Was it the patients? Because apparently it seemed that way, but we don't really know. Again, it's all left up to your interpretation of the game, predicated on what ending and or all endings that you do achieve. So with that said, my rating, if I had to rate this game on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 7. Honestly, I would. If it's a game that you're wanting to come home to and spend a couple hours on, because it is a very short game, you can beat it in a couple hours. If it's a game that interests you and you want to walk through and see if you can solve the puzzles, then hey, great, do that. But again, it's a short game, and you're going to be left with that curiosity of what happened. And that's where I really feel that they could have implemented more on the game. So anyway, those are my final thoughts. My in or out on this is I'm about 3/4 of the way in. I say if you can find it on a sale, definitely pick it up. It's worth the money spent. I picked it up on a sale, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was well worth what I spent. I wouldn't pay full price for it, but those are my thoughts. Those are my viewpoints. Let me know what you guys think. If you have a conspiracy theory out there that lets me know that, hey, you know what, this is what actually happened, or maybe I missed something in the game and I'm not aware of it, let me know. I would love to hear some feedback on this. So those are my final thoughts. That's my in or out. You let me know what you think. I'll check you guys on the dark side.